Alright, so here's the truth. I've never been the guy who stands out. I blend in like wallpaper. That's why the fact that I was even at that party, standing at a karaoke machine, trying to belt out Living on a Prayer in front of Lily, was completely absurd. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's rewind a bit. I first saw Lily on the third day of class, laughing with her friends outside the library. She had this easy, natural laugh that made everyone turn their heads. I did too, though I tried to be subtle about it. For weeks, I'd catch glimpses of her around campus, and each time, my heart would jolt a little. There was just something about her, the way she carried herself, the way she looked at people like she actually cared. Of course, someone like me didn't have a chance with a girl like Lily, but one day, I overheard her talking with her friends in the cafeteria, and she mentioned how much she loved karaoke. Something about how people's personalities come out when they're singing in front of a crowd. That was it. I had my in. I'm not exactly a natural performer. The idea of standing on a stage, even a makeshift one at a house party, terrified me. But the thought of Lily watching me with that easy, admiring smile was too good to pass up. My best friend Maya thought I'd lost my mind. "Eli, you can't even carry a tune," she said, rolling her eyes. "Plus, this is Lily we're talking about. She's like out of our league." I ignored her. "I'm going for it," I said with a grin I hoped looked confident. "I'm going to blow her away." The night of the party, my palms were sweating. I had practiced Living on a Prayer in my room, more times than I cared to admit, and I was determined to make an impression. I spotted Lily across the room, looking effortlessly stunning in a denim jacket and black dress. She was laughing, of course, and every guy around her seemed to be trying to get her attention. Finally, it was my turn at the mic. I grabbed it, took a deep breath, and went for it. Whoa, we're halfway there. But about halfway through, I realized I was bombing hard. My voice cracked at every high note, and I felt myself turning redder than a fire truck. At the worst possible moment, I tripped over the mic stand and landed flat on my back. There was a split second of silence before laughter exploded around me. I could feel every eye in the room watching me, and Lily was laughing too, though in a kind way. I scrambled to my feet and mumbled some kind of apology, then made a beeline for the bathroom. I locked myself in a stall, cursing my idiocy. I'd just humiliated myself in front of my crush. In front of everyone, actually. How did I ever think this was going to work? Despite everything, I decided to stay at the party. My pride was bruised, but I wasn't ready to give up. I went back to the main room, trying to blend into the background, and that's when I saw Lily playing pool. She looked so relaxed, so in her element, and for some stupid reason, I thought I could still salvage this. Taking a deep breath, I walked over. "Mind if I join?" I asked, trying to keep my voice from shaking. To my surprise, she nodded. "Sure, grab a cue," she said with a smile. I felt a spark of hope. Maybe I hadn't blown it after all. Maya was watching from across the room, giving me a look that clearly said, "You're pushing it, dude." But I ignored her. This was my moment. We played a few rounds and I was feeling pretty good. Sure, Lily was leagues better than me, but we were laughing and talking, and it almost felt natural. But then I made the mistake of trying to show off. I lined up for what I thought would be an impressive trick shot, one of those bank shots where the cue ball bounces off the sides of the table. I was going to look so cool, or so I thought. I hit the cue ball way too hard. It ricocheted wildly, and instead of hitting my target, went flying straight into the light fixture above the table. The glass shattered with a loud crash, spraying shards everywhere. People gasped, and I just stood there, stunned, as Lily covered her mouth, clearly trying not to laugh. "Oh my God," she said, her eyes wide with shock. "That was something." My face went beet red. "I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to." Her friends were staring at me like I was some kind of sideshow attraction, and I felt the urge to disappear. Once again, I muttered some kind of apology and retreated, feeling even more humiliated than I had during karaoke. I couldn't believe it. I had somehow managed to embarrass myself twice in one night. The next day, I was dreading going to class. I kept replaying every mortifying second in my head, each time feeling like I was living through it all over again. I was already imagining myself as the punchline of every conversation for the next month. But then Maya cornered me in the cafeteria. "Hey," she said, grinning mischievously. "You're not going to believe this." I rolled my eyes. "Oh, let me guess, everyone's still laughing about last night." "Well, yeah, but that's not the point." She leaned in closer. "I talked to Lily this morning." My stomach sank. "Maya." Relax. She held up her hands. She actually thought it was sweet how hard you were trying. Wait, what? Yeah. She said it was refreshing to see someone go all in like that. She even thought it was funny, but in like a charming way. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Lily, the girl I had embarrassed myself in front of not once but twice, had actually appreciated my awkward attempts. Maya grinned, nudging me. So are you going to ask her out or what? Fueled by a strange mix of hope and disbelief, I decided to give it one more shot. But this time, I was going to be myself. No gimmicks, no showboating, just honesty. Later that day, I spotted Lily sitting on a bench under a tree, flipping through a book. My hands were sweaty, my heart was racing. But I forced myself to walk over. She looked up, her eyes lighting up with recognition. Hey, Eli, she said, smiling warmly. No karaoke or pool tricks today? I laughed nervously. Nope, just me. We ended up talking for hours. She told me about her favorite books, her dream to travel, and I shared stories I'd never told anyone. It was easy, natural, and every once in a while, she'd laugh in that perfect way of hers, making me forget about every embarrassing moment from the night before. Finally, just as the sun was setting, I decided to go for it. Lily, I said, my voice a little shaky. I know last night was a mess, but I really like you. Do you think maybe we could grab coffee sometime? She looked at me for a long moment, then smiled. Actually, I'd love to. As I walked away, my heart pounding, I thought everything had finally gone right. But just as I turned the corner, I heard someone shout, "Hey, there he is, the karaoke guy." I turned to see a guy from the party pointing at me, and within seconds, a group had gathered around, chanting, "Living on a prayer, living on a prayer." Mortified, I laughed awkwardly and waved them off. Lily, who had heard the commotion, walked over, rolling her eyes at the crowd. "Let's get out of here," she said, grabbing my hand and pulling me away from the chanting mob. We ducked into a quiet coffee shop down the street, and as I looked at her across the table, I realized it didn't matter what anyone else thought. For the first time, I was exactly where I wanted to be. Thanks so much for watching. I'd love to hear your thoughts about this story, and share your ideas for future videos. See you in the next video.